with pride and clarity. When you're truly full of yourself, you're not waiting for external validation. You give yourself credit when it's due, hold yourself accountable when necessary, and take responsibility for your choices. It's about showing up fully, knowing your worth, and not shrinking to make others comfortable. This mindset encourages a balanced relationship with both success and failure. When you succeed, you celebrate your effort and recognize your own role in the achievement. When you fall short, you reflect honestly, learn from it, and keep moving. Being full of yourself helps you stay grounded. You're less likely to be swayed by opinions or circumstances because your compass comes from within. It's the quiet strength of someone who knows where they stand and why they do what they do, and that kind of self-assurance becomes contagious. In a world where it's easy to half-step, doubt yourself, or seek approval from others, being full of yourself is a bold, necessary stance. It means showing up unapologetically, aligned with your values, and fully invested in your journey. This kind of presence not only improves your own life, it inspires others to find and trust their own voice. When you're full of yourself, you become more honest, more intentional, and ultimately more impactful. Own it, fail, or succeed is about taking full responsibility for your actions, choices, and outcomes, regardless of the result. When you succeed, owning it means acknowledging the work you put in, the risks you took, and the growth you achieved along the way. It's not about downplaying your wins or brushing them off with false humility. It's about embracing your accomplishments with pride and understanding the journey it took to get there. On the flip side, owning your failures is just as powerful. It means not shifting blame, making excuses, or avoiding the discomfort of falling short. Instead, it's facing the truth, accepting what happened, and learning from it without letting it define your worth. Failure isn't a dead end. It's a necessary part of growth. And when you own it, you gain clarity, resilience, and wisdom that success alone can't always teach. Whether things go your way or fall apart, the common thread is integrity. Owning your outcomes, good or bad, shows that you're committed, courageous, and in control of your own narrative. It builds trust with others and strengthens your own sense of self. In a world where it's easy to pass the buck, or only show up when things are going well, taking full ownership sets you apart and keeps you grounded no matter what comes your way. Be full of yourself. In the best way means embracing your worth, owning your space, and showing up with confidence, not arrogance. It's about knowing who you are, what you bring to the table, and not shrinking to make others comfortable. When you're full of yourself in this way, you don't need to prove anything. You just live and express yourself unapologetically, with self-respect and assurance. This mindset encourages you to trust your instincts, speak up for what matters to you, and lead with your unique voice. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing you're enough just as you are. When you stop waiting for permission to feel good about yourself, you begin to move differently, more freely, more boldly, and with purpose. People feel that kind of energy. It's magnetic. Being full of yourself in the best way also means celebrating your wins, embracing your quirks, and not watering yourself down to fit in. It's choosing to value your own opinion before seeking external validation. When you do that, you become more aligned, more authentic, and more resilient to criticism. In a world that often teaches us to play small, being full of yourself, in the right way, is a quiet, powerful rebellion. There's a science to satisfaction that means that feeling content and fulfilled isn't just a random emotion. It's something that can be understood, cultivated, and even designed. Research in psychology and neuroscience shows that satisfaction is deeply connected to how we set goals, manage expectations, and experience progress. It's less about achieving everything perfectly and more about how we perceive our journey and the meaning we attach to it. One key element is gratitude. Studies have found that regularly practicing gratitude literally rewires the brain to focus more on the positive, which boosts long-term well-being. Dopamine and serotonin, our feel-gooder chemicals, are released when we acknowledge progress or celebrate small wins. In other words, satisfaction can be sparked by intentionally pausing to recognize the good, not just by reaching big milestones. It's not always about having more, but about appreciating what is already here. Another part of the science is tied to purpose and alignment. People feel more satisfied when their actions line up with their values and when they're engaged in something meaningful. Even hard work or struggle can be satisfying if it connects to a deeper why. Understanding this helps us move away from chasing surface level highs and instead build habits and mindsets that create lasting fulfillment. Satisfaction isn't accidental. It's something we can shape. But when life is going well, analyze it as a reminder not to take the good times for granted. It's easy to coast through moments of success or happiness without really paying attention to why things are working. But those periods can hold valuable insight. When you're thriving, feeling motivated, connected, or at peace, there are usually patterns, habits, or mindsets at play that are worth noticing and understanding. Analyzing the good helps you identify what to keep doing. Maybe it's a certain morning routine that sets the tone for the day, or relationships that bring out your best self. Maybe you've been clearer about boundaries, or finally aligned your work with your passions. By taking a step back to reflect, you gain self-awareness and clarity about what actually contributes to your well-being. It becomes less about luck and more about intentional living. This kind of reflection also builds resilience. When tough times come, and they always do, you'll have a personal playbook to turn back to. Knowing what worked before can help you rebuild faster or even prevent future dips. Success and joy aren't just meant to be enjoyed. They are meant to be studied. There's wisdom in the wins, and analyzing them makes it more likely you'll experience them again. So to figure out who you're not at is about clarity through contrast. Sometimes the best way to understand yourself isn't by listing your strengths or passions, but by identifying what doesn't fit, what drains you, what feels fake, or what you do just to please others. Ruling out the roles, behaviors, and identities that aren't truly yours clears space for authenticity. It's a process of elimination that can lead to real self-awareness. When you stop trying to be everything to everyone, you get closer to what actually aligns with your core values. Maybe you're not the loud leader, the people pleaser, or the 9-to-5 kind of person, and that's okay. Rejecting what doesn't feel right helps you stop chasing someone else's version of success. You learn to say no without guilt and recognize when something's not meant for you. That's powerful clarity. Figuring out who you're not also protects your energy. It helps you set boundaries and avoid the burnout that comes from constantly performing or pretending. It's a form of freedom, where, instead of molding yourself to fit into roles, you start creating space where you naturally belong. The more you understand what isn't you, the more confidently you can step into what is. A life isn't fair. That's not the point. It's a reminder that fairness isn't guaranteed, and expecting it can lead to constant frustration. Bad things happen to good people. Hard work doesn't always get rewarded, and sometimes luck plays a bigger role than effort. While that can feel disheartening, it's also freeing, because it means we don't have to waste energy trying to make sense of every injustice or setback, as if it's deserved. The point isn't to chase fairness, but to focus on what you can control. Your mindset, your actions, your responses. Even when circumstances aren't equal or ideal, you still get to